One of the largest data breaches in tech history has just occurred, with over 89 million Steam accounts having their data breached, and is currently up for sale on the dark web, reportedly for $5,000. This is all according to a cybersecurity company who noticed posts on the dark web, found posts on the dark web offering the entirety of that $89 million worth of account information for $5,000. That is a very low price for private information, you say. Well, you might be right. But don't worry. Steam is currently saying that you don't need to change your password, your phone number, or any of your information as a result of this breach. Don't worry, it's fine. Just, monitor your accounts regularly like you always should, just in case you see anything crazy happening there. But the company Underdark, the cybersecurity company that found all this, is suggesting that everyone change all their passwords, maybe change their emails, change all their data, all their login information. Make sure you have two-factor authentication set up, everything, because this is one of the largest data breaches in possibly history. It's a very large, 89 million accounts worth of data. Now, you might be wondering, what sort of data do they have? Do they have my credit card information? Do they have my home address? Because, you use your home address when you plug in your credit card information. Do they know how old I am? Do they know my birthday? Am I getting a birthday gift from them this year? No. No, unfortunately, you will not be getting a birthday gift from any of these hackers this year, because what information is being sold? What these hackers thought would be worth $5,000 on the dark web is reportedly, because Steam looked and found, Steam has done an internal survey or internal check and went through a large portion of the leaked data. Now, again, from what I'm seeing, it's saying that they examined the sample, the sample of the leak. There very well might be more information there than what they're saying there is. But according to them, it's just old text messages. It's just a database of old text messages that have been sent. Basically, whenever you get those SMS, authentication codes that last for 15 minutes, apparently that's all it is. It did not associate any of the Steam accounts with phone numbers, with email addresses, with password information, payment information, none of that. Sorry, I had a weird burp there. So reportedly, according to Steam, it's all entirely fine. It's entirely safe. To me, my immediate thought goes to, okay, well, what if they're lying to us? What if they're lying to us? Or what if they examined the sample and the part that they examined was just, irrelevant data, password, or not password, old text messages, SMS authentication codes, all those different things that they say none of the information that they've examined would be able to be tracked back to the individual that the account was associated with, wouldn't be able to get their payment information from the beginning of that. But what if they missed something? What if they're lying? What if they're lying? What if they missed something? Whatever. So there is a level of, if you have a Steam account, if you want to be safe, you do what the actual cybersecurity company says and maybe change your password real quick. If you have multiple emails, maybe change it over to an email. Make sure that you should always have two-factor authentication set up, honestly. Like, there's very rarely a reason not to. Back in the day, there used to be a reason not to, because I remember the two-factor authentication then. One of the early ones that I personally remember was Battle.net. You used to be able to get a Battle.net key thing that would randomly generate numbers that would change periodically, and you could use that for two-factor authentication. But God forbid you lost that little tiny device or it broke, because you would be screwed. But definitely you should set up two-factor authentication, because there's no reason not to. It only protects you. Steam is saying there's no threat to your account. Underdark is saying maybe. Apparently, based on, according to Underdark, according to the company that found this, the cybersecurity of the company that found this, the source of this data breach is likely a third-party vendor, is someone that Steam works with or through, rather than Steam itself. Like, what they're saying is it very likely did not come directly from Steam, but rather came from one of the vendors they work with, be that their payment processing people or any of their hosting services, or any, like, if they have servers through somebody, or if they have any like data processing companies. I mean, most of these companies that do things online or manage some large amount of stuff aren't handling everything themselves. They're outsourcing a lot of it. Maybe they get a lot of their data processing through someone. Maybe they get their payroll is through a different company. Maybe they get a different company that handles all the payment processing stuff. So when you're taking a payment through Steam, maybe it's being processed out through different. There's a lot of different reasons why very large companies, small companies, and very large companies outsource a lot of the stuff that happens. So apparently, it's one of these third-party vendors that is the likely source of this information. The cybersecurity company Underdark, the ones that actually found this breach, are saying they believe it was through a company called Twilio, which is a third-party provider that provides basically programmable messaging services through like web API. So they essentially are a way to automate the sending of text messages and receiving of text messages and phone calls. So if you have any of those services, that's like, I mean, everyone's aware of it. You try to log into something, and then either you forgot your password or you have two-factor authentication set up, and it says, oh, we are going to send you a text message with this code, and that's how you're going to get in and put in that text messages. They're one of the companies that handles that. According to Steam, they don't use Twilio, so I'm not sure how Underdark came to the conclusion that it was through Twilio, but that's what they believe it is. They believe it's at least a third-party service. Steam is saying it's not from them, but it's not through Twilio. Doesn't really matter. Huge data breach, horrible data breach, massive data breach. They know whenever some lucky guy or gal or them wins this bid and pays that $5,000 and gets all that data, they're going to know exactly when you forgot your password to log into Steam and had to re-log in and get an authentication code. And they're going to use it to embarrass you. So watch out. One of my favorite things about this, though, one of the things that's just kind of funny to me, well, two of the things that is just kind of funny to me about this situation is the fact that, one, Steam came out and just straight up said, no, you don't need to change your password. You don't need to, it's perfectly fine. You don't need to change your password. And I'm wondering what PR decision that is, because I can see the thought process from whoever's on their PR team of saying, listen, this is, one, if they're just lying and we do need to change our passwords, that's just a bad move in general. But two, I can see them being like, listen, guys, this wasn't that bad of data breach. It's just a bunch of text messages. If we tell people they need to start changing their passwords, people are going to start thinking that's a lot worse than it is, and they're going to freak out, and they're going to lose faith with us, or faith in us, and they're going to maybe stop using Steam, which isn't going to fucking happen. I mean, Epic Game Store is not that great. Steam is the biggest vendor. Steam pretty much has a monopoly on it, but they're going to lose their faith in us. It's going to be a whole problem. We can't tell them to change their passwords. But also, to me, saying, yeah, no, there's this massive data breach. Don't change your passwords, though. Don't worry about it. Don't change your passwords. I mean, check your accounts occasionally. Don't trust, random links and stuff. But don't change your passwords. It's fine. Is also an equally kind of wild statement to make as a company that just suffered a massive data breach. And I wonder like what route there. I guess they were going for the route of we don't want to freak our customers out for something that's relatively small. But to me, all I see is that is a really wild take on there's a massive data breach. We're pretty sure there's nothing important there. Don't change your passwords. And the second funny part, too, was just the fact that literally I got off stream, saw this happened, and recorded this video. And while we were on stream, we were talking about, me and chat were talking about all these different companies that have had, like what someone was saying, oh, they don't trust Sony anymore because of the Sony data breach. And my response was, well, I mean, every major tech company has massive data breaches. It's gonna have everywhere that has any of your information has probably lost a lot of your data. It's coming out in the news all the time, and then I literally get off stream and see, yep, Steam just did that. I just put out a video about Valve, and Steam just did this. My God, it's not a good look. But that's all I got for you. If you're interested, check out some of my more recent videos that are talking about, one, the Valve drama now where they are taking legal action against a mod team, or the Nintendo drama and all the videos I put out about that Nintendo drama and the lawsuit they have against Palworld and Pocket Pair, and the fact that they are threatening to brick your Switches if you don't use it exactly the way they want you to. And check out the change.org petition I currently have going on that is to stop the abusive misuse of patent law by video game developers, essentially trying to get video game developers not to be able to patent game mechanics anymore. I will say I fully recognize a change.org petition. Really, all it is getting your voice heard. But that is something. Getting the voice heard is something, and hopefully if it gets big enough, it gets picked up by more people find this, lawmakers find this, large personalities find this, people that have the ability to make more effective change than I do or like an individual random person online does. So please, if you can, if you're willing, sign the petition. And then also, if you can, if you're willing, leave a like and subscribe because I am a YouTuber, so I have to put that in there and turn on notifications. But one of the things that made me, I'll say this too, one of the things that made me really kind of excited and happy when the change.org petition started taking off, because I didn't expect it to do that, was the fact that people were donating money to the petition. They were basically buying views for the petition. They were buying ad space for the petition. So they donated a lot of money to the petition, and that was really, really cool. But I'm going to go ahead and ask everyone who is currently doing that, who sees this part of this and goes to sign the petition, don't donate to the petition. Don't donate money to the petition. I'm going to keep putting out videos on it. I'm reaching out to indie developers. I'm reaching out to organizations and lawyers that can help with the wording and stuff to help make sure that all the wording that's being submitted is correct so that legislators know what we want to see and don't take it out of context and do something crazy with it. And I'm going to do as much as I can to push this, and hopefully other YouTubers, other content creators, other people will pick it up and start pushing it too. Don't donate to the petition because that money can be better spent elsewhere. And one of those places where it can be better spent is by donating to the Electronic Frontier Foundation. The Electronic Frontier Foundation is a nonprofit organization that specifically works in that digital rights and digital liberty space. And if you're going to donate, donating to them is going to do a lot more for the overall goal of protecting consumer rights, protecting, the civil rights of people in the digital world than donating to the petition will. The petition can grow on the merits of it's going to have content put out about it. It's gotten so many shares, so many people are seeing it, just not even from the paid views, because it tells me how many of the views are from paid views. Not even from the paid views, so many people are already seeing it. It's going to grow on its own. So while I appreciate the money being donated so much, because when I first saw that, it made me feel really good about the fact that people cared about it so much that they were going to donate money to it. Like, I think over $900, maybe $1,000 has been donated to the petition. Let me actually pop that up. Yeah, at this point, $1,312 has been donated to the petition, and that is amazing. People really, really care about this and are really, really putting in effort to make this grow beyond itself. But you can do that by sharing it. You can do that by sharing it yourself in communities that you're part of, Reddit communities that you're part of, Discords that you're a part of. As long as you have the permission, as long as it's something that is allowable within that community, it can grow that way. It can grow from videos being made about it. It can grow from people talking about it, sharing it with your friends, sharing it on Facebook. But the Electronic Frontier Foundation can use that money so much more, because the Electronic Frontier Foundation will use that to fund activism and fund attorneys and fund actual, more substantive action than what the Change.org petition is doing. And I'm 100% willing to admit that. The Change.org petition is about getting the voice heard and getting more people involved. Hopefully getting big decision makers involved, letting the decision maker, the U.S. Patent Office is the decided decision maker for the Change.org petition. But other decision makers, people with voices, people that maybe they're not politicians, but they have reach, they have influence to start talking about it. But the Electronic Frontier Foundation can do so much more with that. So please, if you are going to donate to them. And I just kind of wanted to end there, and I wanted to say that because I did as much as it made me feel good that people were donating to it. I'm the Electronic Frontier Foundation could use that money really well as well. But thank you. Yeah, change your Steam passwords and like and subscribe and turn on notifications. Turn on notifications. 3% of my subscribers have all notifications turned on. Okay, I did my YouTuber thing. I told people to do that. Bye!